authentic news and insight. Be it breaking news, thought-provoking discussions, we are your number one online radio station in Southwest Nigeria. We are dedicated to delivering top-notch content that keeps you informed, entertained, and engaged. Stay connected on Power 365 Radio by following us on all our social media platforms, on Facebook at Power 365 FM, Instagram at Power 365_FM. Power 365 Radio, your source for news and insight.
Good morning, listeners out there. You're welcome to Power 365 FM, your number one online radio in Ibadan. My name is Oluwadamilola Ademokun. Once again, we welcome you, and we're bringing you newspaper review from major newspapers in Nigeria. I'm reading from Nigerian Tribune. And the major headlines are here. Bandits invade Kaduna School, 280 pupils missing, feared abducted. Armed robbers attack 2 banks in Kogi, increasing rate of poverty. Hunger in Nigeria worrisome. Ondo Guba, no decision yet on zoning, PDP. And then this is coming from page 12 of the Nigerian Tribune. Labour differs on appropriate new minimum wage for workers. Alleged 1.2 billion naira misappropriation. Tinubu suspends REAMD. Appoints Adelabu's running mate non-executive director. And then we also have this one. The Labour story has some riders. Southwest NLC proposes 794,000 naira. TUC 497,000 naira. OPS appeals for understanding. Southeast NLC TUC propose 540,000 naira, 447,000 naira. FCT NLC proposes 709,000 naira. Workers' minimum wage is starving wage. That's coming from the NLC president. By the way, let's wish our women out there happy International Women's Day. Congratulations from all of us at Power 365 FM. We wish you the best of this of your career and of your life as women. We hope you embrace empowerment, celebrate your achievements, and amplify each other's strengths with love. Okay, let me also bring you this major headline on our dear Anthony Joshua. It says Ngannou could hit hot Joshua tonight. That's coming from the Saudi showdown in the between Anthony Joshua and the former and the Francis Ngannou. And then I'm a big fan of whiskey. That's coming from Iwobi. I don't mind Eagle's Job. That's coming from Eyama. And then we also have this which says Nwabali good for QPR. That's coming from Pundit. Club owners Il Elegbeleye. And then we also have this La Liga 2-game ban beat ridiculous Bellingham. And Play 2 governor expresses concern over attack in Bakin Ladi local government. And we also have the Taraba government USAID partner on curbing HIV. We have the stories and so much more. Okay, 2024 UTME, 260,000 candidate seat mock exams. I'll bring you all the stories and more when I return. Stay tuned.
This is Power 365 Radio. Get ready to experience dynamic energy and professionalism. At Power 365 Radio, we pride ourselves on being your go-to source for authentic news and insight. Be it breaking news, thought-provoking discussions, we are your #1 online radio station in Southwest Nigeria. We are dedicated to delivering top-notch content that keeps you informed, entertained, and engaged. Stay connected on Power 365 Radio by following us on all our social media platforms. On Facebook at Power 365 FM, Instagram at Power 365_FM. Power 365 Radio, your source for news and insight.
Back, don't forget you could join us on our Facebook page, www.facebook.com/Power365FM. We are also on Instagram at Power365_FM. On our Twitter, we are Power Online 365, and you could also download our app directly from our website on www.power365fm.com. My first story is coming from the NLC TUC, which says NLC TUC OPS differ on appropriate new minimum wage for workers. Leaders of the Nigerian Labour Congress, Trade Union Congress, and organized private sectors on Thursday differed over the appropriate new wage for Nigerian workers. While NLC and TUC could not agree on specific amount and for the minimum wage, organized private sectors appealed for understanding from workers. Speaking during the geopolitical zones public hearings organized by the Tripartite Committee on National Minimum Wage, chaired by the Minister of Finance, Mr. Wale Edun, held in Ikeja, Lagos, the OPS argued that sustainability of their businesses should be taken into consideration. On government's part, the argument was that though workers deserve new wage, each state should be allowed to negotiate with their respective workers because of their peculiarities. However, the labor unions described the stance of some governors' inability to pay minimum wage as unacceptable. Chairman of the Lagos State NLC, Mrs. Fumi Sesi, proposed the payment of at least 794,000 naira minimum wage for workers. Okay, this is a very interesting story. It's almost half of a page. You may pick a copy of the Nigerian Tribune to read this story. It says NLC TUC OPC differ on appropriate new minimum wage for workers. And this is coming from our Vice President, who says economic challenges will be over soon. The Vice President, Senator Kashim Shettima, has promised that the current economic challenges will soon be over. He appealed to Nigerians to react to the current realities in a responsible and mature manner. Shettima spoke on Sunday in Lagos at the 29th pre-Ramadan lecture of the University of Lagos Muslim alumni with the theme Economic Reforms for Nigeria, Challenges and Prospects for the Future, represented by his Special Advisor on Political Matters, Dr. Hakim Baba Ahmed. The Vice President noted that Ramadan would come with severe challenges for many Nigerians. You may read more of that story on page 13 of the Nigerian Tribune. Hardship provides succor for disadvantaged Nigerians, Sharia Council tells federal government states. The Supreme Council for Sharia in Nigeria, SCSN, has called on the federal and state governments to provide immediate relief and succor for the multitudes of disadvantaged Nigerians in the face of the stifling economic hardships in the country. This is even as the council urged the people to eschew resorting to violent protests against the government, but instead strive for dialogue and constructive engagement with governments to address their concerns. You may pick a copy of the Nigerian Tribune to read more of that story. It's on page 13 of the Nigerian Tribune. Bandits invade Kaduna school. 280 pupils missing, feared abducted. Bandits on Thursday morning stormed Kuriga village in Chikun local government area of Kaduna State and kidnapped about 280 primary and secondary school students from government school Kuriga. The resident of the area, Abubakar Kuriga, said the hoodlums stormed the joint primary and secondary school when the pupils were observing their morning assembly. Kuriga said today at about 8:30 a.m. bandits stormed our village and went straight to our school and abducted over 100 junior and senior secondary school students. It's a sad one. It's a sad one. It's a sad one. Another sad story about bandits invading schools and abducting pupils. We hope the federal government, the Nigerian army, and all security agencies will find something, a lasting solution to this persistent evil in our land. 1.2 billion naira misappropriation. Tinubu suspends RANG. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has ordered the indefinite suspension from office of the Managing Director, CEO of the Rural Electrification Agency, REA, Ahmad Salihijo Ahmad, alongside 3 executive directors of the agency. This was disclosed in a statement issued on Thursday by Ajuri Ngelale, Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, which noted that the action came in the light of new findings of a comprehensive investigation into the financial activities of the agency. The directors affected are Olani Alaba, Netufo, Executive Director Corporate Services, Baka Sajao, Executive Director Technical Services, and Sadatu Bagori, Executive Director Rural Electrification Fund. According to the statement, President Tinubu has further ordered a wider investigation into the conduct of the aforementioned officials in a fraudulent misexpenditure amounting to over 1.2 billion over the past 2 years, some of which it said has already been recovered by anti-graft agencies. You may read more of that story on page 3 of the Nigerian Tribune. Okay, so I'm bringing this next story from page 4 of the Nigerian Tribune. A Mayfield trial. Buhari boss Mustafa's signatures were forged, forensic analyst tells court. Forensic document examiner with the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Bamai Aruna Mairiga, on Thursday told the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory that analysis of some specimen signatures and disputed documents indicated that the signature of the former President Muhammadu Buhari and the immediate past secretary to the government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, were forged. Mariga said this while testifying in the ongoing trial of the immediate past governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, before Justice Hamza Muazu. sitting in Maitama, Abuja. That's a sad one. The story again says in Emefiele trial, Buhari boss Mustafa's signatures were forged. Forensic analyst tells court. That's to tell you that when the chips are down, you'll be on your own. Now Emefiele is on his own. Ondo Guba, no decision yet on zoning. PDP. The national leadership of the People's Democratic Party has clarified that no decision has been made on zoning its ticket to the Ondo State governorship elections slated for November 16. It will be recalled that following Wednesday's meeting between the National Working Committee and critical stakeholders from the state, some governorship aspirants are told the media that an agreement had been sealed to zone the ticket to the southern part of the state. You may pick more of that. You may pick a copy of the Nigerian Tribune to read more of that story. Go after coup advocates. Matawale tells DIA. Minister of State for Defense Bello Mohammed Matawale on Thursday told the Defense Intelligence Agency to go after some people advocating for a coup to topple the democratically elected government of President Bola Tinubu. Describing such individuals as agents of darkness, Matawale said calls for violent change of government by the military is absurd, preposterous and naive, as the military has come to reality with democratic government in Nigeria and is focused on their constitutional duty of defending the constitution. You may read more of that story on page 4 of the Nigerian Tribune. And then I also have this on okay, let me jump to the 8th page of the Nigerian Tribune. Oyo to establish commission to oversee state tertiary institutions. The process to establish the Oyo State Tertiary Education Commission as an agency responsible for the coordination and management of all tertiary institutions in the state has begun. This followed the first reading of the Oyo State Tertiary Education Commission Bill 2024, which is an executive bill, at Thursday's plenary of the House of Assembly. The commission, upon its establishment, will have the responsibility to develop and implement quality assurance mechanisms for all academic programs offered by tertiary institutions, align academic standards across the institutions to address specific needs of state higher education landscape. You may read more of that story. It's on page 8 of the Nigerian Tribune. Federal government officially hands over construction of Lagos-Calabar Coastal Road to ITEC. The federal government on Thursday in Lagos officially handed over the construction of Lagos-Calabar Coastal Road to Messrs. ITEC Construction Company. The Minister of Works, David Umahi, who announced the handing over of the super highway, said the contractor has 36 months to deliver the first phase of the project, measuring 650 kilometers. You may read more of that story. Federal government officially hands over construction of Lagos-Calabar Coastal Road to ITEC. Alright, let me also bring this to you. Shetima Abiodun orders Grace MSME Clinic in Ogun. Vice President Kashim Shetima, Ogun State Governor Prince Dapo Abiodun, and other notable Nigerians were in Ogun State, were in Abeokuta to attend the National MSME Clinic held in Ogun State. The products of the Trust Love Fluid Resources Limited, which are showcased at the event, caught the attention of the dignitaries in attendance. Okay, you may read more of that story on page 12 of the Nigerian Tribune. And then let me also bring you the next story, which will come from the page 18 of the Nigerian Tribune. Passan to Tinubu, prevail on governors on financial autonomy for state legislatures to avert strike. The Parliamentary Staff Association of Nigeria, Passan, has beckoned on President Bola Tinubu to prevail on governors to guarantee full implementation of financial autonomy for state legislatures to avert another industrial action. It recalled that the Passan suspended its last strike following a jointly signed memorandum of understanding by the chairman of the Conference of Speakers and Nigerian Governors Forum to the effect that legislative financial autonomy for the state legislatures will take effect across the country on February 2. You may read more of that story on page 18 of the Nigerian Tribune. Reps set to review 28 trillion Appropriation Act. The House of Representatives on Thursday unveiled plans to review the 28.77 trillion naira Appropriation Act signed into law by President Bola Tinubu for the 2024 fiscal year. You may read more of that story. It's on page 18 of the Nigerian Tribune. There are so many stories on page 18 of the Nigerian Tribune, and then there's this feature article, Makinde setting the template for national engagement. It's on page 21 of the Nigerian Tribune. Hardship Lagos seals partnership with Niger for agric commodities supplies. You may pick a copy of the Nigerian Tribune to read more stories. Thank you for staying tuned, and we hope that you join us for other programs which will be coming to you live from Power 365 FM. Don't forget, you can also join us on our social media handles. Oluwadamilola Ademokun is my name. Thank you.